People say that what we're all seeking is a meaning for life. I don't think that's what we're really seeking. I think what we're seeking is an experience of being alive, so that the life experiences that we have on the purely physical plane will have resonances within that are those of our own innermost being and reality. And so that we actually feel the rapture of being alive. That's what it's all finally about, and that's what these clues help us to find within ourselves.
Myths are clues?
Myths are clues to the spiritual potentialities of the human life.
What do you make of this? What do you do when the world is in flames? And in some cases, literally, like in the West Coast, it's just bad. So what do you do when the world is in flames, when the world is being overrun by chaos? I like the idea that Joseph Campbell would talk about, just using myths as a mirror for yourself and reflection of the world. And basically using these old stories as clues to kind of navigate, just the chaos that kind of manifests in the world. And it's not just limited to myths. It's kind of with anything, any kind of form of art, any kind of form of storytelling or parables, what have you. I feel like there's all these different clues, codes to this video game, this simulation, this God dream, this whatever, this reality. There are ways to navigate it, and I think it's important to kind of remind ourselves that while this is new to us, it in itself, chaos, is not new, and that there are methods to cope, and we are not alone, and that even though a lot of us are isolated and our information is distorted and our emotions are overrun, we can let that be a negative, or we can kind of take a moment and realize that we can kind of follow these old paths to kind of navigate this video game and get through it.
Nietzsche puts it beautifully. We have art that we do not die of reality. Reality is too much with us. I think we know all of the basic facts of life, each of us. We know too much about death. We know too much about age. We know too much about love that sometimes fails us. People do go away. People do vanish. Friends go off over the world and never come back. Our children finally go out into the world on their own. All of us finally leave the fact of existence. Now these build all kinds of tensions for us. So what I try to do is go to my typewriter and many days experiment with words to find out what my tension is. Do I need to laugh or cry on a particular day? I don't know. Sometimes I don't know.
Like another thing is that these clues aren't just limited to the past in the form of myth, religion, and stories. It's also with each other, like there's a lot of people that are figuring things out as they go, and they're kind of like broadcasting it in their own way, or they're keeping it to themselves. Like a lot of us are being very insulated in ways that we shouldn't have to be. You shouldn't have to feel alone of, like this kind of burden that you're kind of carrying. You shouldn't have to carry that completely alone. You do have your people around you. In my case, it's whoever's watching this, like it's like a half dozen of you, you know what I mean? So hopefully you guys are doing well, and hopefully that, you can give yourself permission to kind of talk to your close friends and just hear each other out. I've been thinking that, a negative side of this whole thing is that you're getting closer and closer to your inner circle, the people that you trust, the people that you could count in your hand. And outside of that, you're getting more and more dispersed. Like there's people that I care about that I'm just not, communicating with. I can do a better job of that. But it's also at the same time, it's just the nature of this thing.
You can tell them good news
and they'll help you celebrate. And that's a really good way of deciding who you should have around you, because if you have someone around you, something good happens to you and you're kind of afraid to even admit it because, God, something good happened to you. It's like, you let that be known, it'll certainly be taken away. So, you come out and you sort of tell someone half-heartedly that something good happened to you, and they give you a whack and then talk about, the great thing that happened to them 3 years ago, or worse, the great thing that happened to someone that they knew 3 years ago. It's like, go away from that person. They're not helpful to you.
So I figure something like this, this pretentious blog, like something like that, you can at least see where one is at mentally, spiritually, physically, and hopefully get like a baseline and feel, kind of like what's in the air right now.